With me now, former Oakland Raider Super Bowl champion Burgess Owens. Burgess, thanks for joining me.
Hi, Liz. Good talking with you again. Looking forward to it for sure.
All right, tell me, I know you and I have talked. It's probably been over a year now that we have
Yes.
talked. You said you always stand for the national anthem. Simple question to start, why? Why do you stand?
Well, because I was taught my history. You see, I was brought up in an era. It was during the days of segregation, Jim Crow, Democratic Jim Crow laws, and KKK. But my little segregated community was very proud. They were very entrepreneurial. They believed in the American dream, and they taught us history about how proud our country has always been and how we've come together to do great things. And for example, Liz, how many people know out there that in 1905, 40 years after slavery, that Tuskegee, a little black college in Alabama, was producing more self-made millionaires than Harvard, Princeton, and Yale combined. So if you learn our history and you go even further to see what our race was doing during the 40s, 50s, and 60s, leading our country in terms of the growth of the middle class, the men committed to marriage, all those good things, and you realize there was not a big void in between. What's happened is that the leftists have started have failed to teach our history. So these young people get up, go through college and get their great opportunities to live the American dream and are clueless about America because they've been taught by Marxists, socialists, and atheists that this is a very, very bad place to be, and they haven't yet understood how to think through the truth. So we're going to make sure they get the truth, and once they do, we'll never, as a race, go back.
Right, so what would you say to these guys, though, the ones that still, even after we've had this conversation for 2 years, even after President Trump has said, listen, if you believe that there are injustices in our criminal justice system, that someone has been sentenced or convicted and sentenced unjustly, give me the name of that person. I will look into it. I will consider a pardon. I will consider commuting that sentence. What do you say to these guys that are still, even after that, still kneeling and turning their back on our flag?
Well, unfortunately, that might not be that core group of people might not be our answer at this point, because these are young men who still, they live in this bubble. Our answer is going to be the 30% of Black Americans that feel the way I do. We love our country, love our race, and want to make a difference. We're conservative at our hearts, but yet we've been voting Democrats up to this point. That's changing. 15% of Black Americans who were for candidate Trump, now 36% for President Trump. We're leaving the plantation, and once we leave, we're gone for good. And those of us who leave, we'll make sure we reach back and service those young people in these communities that has been decimated, has been destroyed by the left. We'll get in there and serve them, answer their questions, get them educated, and once they do, they'll believe in the American dream and be proud of it as we are today, and we'll get our country back. By the way, that's why the left wants the illegals. They're losing Black Americans, and they need to replace us as quick as they can. So they do that with other people who don't know our history, do not love our country, and they can propagandize to turn into anti-Americans.